Good everyone, and welcome to another movie review. This review will be on the 2020 movie, Fantasy Island. Did I like this movie, or did I hate it? Well, find out soon. Fantasy Island is directed by Jeff Redlow, writers Julian Jacobs, Christopher Roach, Jeff Redlow. The cast first start off with the guests that go to the island, which are Lucy Hale, Mel Cole, Maggie Q as Glenn Olsen, Jimmy Ho Yang as Brax, Ryan Hudson as Bradley, Ashton Stoll as Randall, and we actually meet another person later on in the movie, who is Portia Doubleday as Salon. There's another actor that actually shows up from time to time. He's Michael Roarke. And of course the guest of the island is Michael Penner as Mr. Roarke. The plot of the film is the enigmatic Mr. Roarke makes the secret of his lucky guest come true at the luckiest but remote tropical resort. But when the fantasy turn into nightmares, the guest had to solve the mysteries of the island in order to escape with their lives. Well, I always have likes, but is there likes? Well, some likes. Reason why my score is how it is. Some cast actually thought I did a good job, and I found the twist of the film wasn't too bad either. Of course, the cast I find they're okay. They're not the greatest, but they still, I found they did an okay job. Maggie Q, liked her performance, and Michael Roarke. That's it. When it comes to dislikes, it's the rest of the film. It's quite ridiculous, really. The plot is just stupid. Really stupid. The fantasy was not interesting. The horror elements of the film was just flat and boring. Most of it doesn't happen to the last short period of the film, when things go to hell. The fantasy they did, they wanted their own type of fantasy, quite pointless. They were quite dull. Mel Cole, boy, I thought she had the best fantasy. Getting back at someone who brought her back at school. Another fantasy was quite silly. It's actually not what she actually wanted. The one actually more or less played with her. Spoil-free review, so I'm not really getting into it. Two brothers, their fantasy is just to meet sexy women and sexy guys, more or less. Yeah, it's pretty serious, huh? And someone else wanted to meet someone who hasn't seen in a long time. It's when it gets to the end of the film, the person that you find out at the end of the film that someone was in love with someone, and she likes this particular person. So, more or less, the guests on her arm are more or less her pawn on the chest. And she just want to get it back out of them. Because every person will go at this particular price at a particular time, and they didn't help her at all. It will go to do with a particular fire. And she likes this particular person in the fire. That's basically, the twist. Not saying who the person is. And what it is. Who the person means to her. The funny thing is, when Olsen was also supposed to say someone when they say at the same time. The movie's all over the place. The fantasies, like I mentioned, is not interesting. The plot is not interesting. The acting is actually ridiculous, apart from two actors I mentioned earlier. The worst came from, of course, Lucy Hale. I thought she was just so... her facial expressions and everything about her was just ridiculous. And then the rest of the cast, all just... no emotion at all. They're just like a bunch of zombies walking around with no expression on their faces and stuff. The dialogue is pretty bad. As bad as their acting. The music didn't skip the film. It's got real bad editing and pacing. Kind of movie all over the place. But it shows one fantasy, goes to another fantasy. Then it goes back to a fantasy, and it goes back to another fantasy. It's all over the place. And someone who didn't think there would be a villain turned out to be running the show. And he knows everything about the island and stuff. One guy trying to help people to get off the island. Get into safety. Which is the Michael Roarke character. He knows something about the island. About a particular item on the island. Of course, spoiler free, not going to mention it, in case those who have not seen it. Well, it is a movie worth seeing at the cinema? No. Definitely not. As one of the subscribers, that if this movie should have been a Netflix movie, he would respond to me was, yeah, should have been a Netflix film. And now I watch this, definitely not a cinema movie. It feels like one of those generic, bad, crappy Netflix movies. Well, what I can say is, don't waste your time with this film. For me, my score is 1 out of 10.